Yes, this is Dr. Susan Gitau. I take care of everybody on my YouTube channel, Dr. Susan Gitau, and I hope you have subscribed, liked, and shared just to benefit somebody else apart from you. Today, I want to talk about my book, Trauma Recovery for Internally Displaced Persons in Kenya after Post-Election Violence 2007-2008. Because I want to use this, one, to encourage postgraduate students that if you have finished your work, you have published one or two articles. For PhDs, I know it's two articles before you graduate, and for masters, it depends on the institution. Maybe you don't have to publish an article, but your work that you have done can actually get published. If you go Google Scholars Press, I think the first time my first article from my PhD work went on air, and online, I got this offer to publish my book, my work. This is my thesis work. And this book is also on Amazon if you want to access it. And I'm doing local publication, which is going to be cheaper. I know if you go on Amazon and look for this book, it might be a few dollars. Probably if you purchase it in Kenya, it can be cheaper. It is a book that has also taken the approach that students should take when they're doing an intervention study. And most psychologists, most counselors, we are accused that we are not scientific enough. We cannot prove whether what we do works or does not work. But I believe it can work, because when I did this study on trauma recovery for internally displaced persons, I adapted a model from Virginia Satire's Marriage and Family Therapy, a 5-stage model. I developed an 8-stage model. And in it, I also borrowed a lot from cognitive behavior therapy. I borrowed a lot of her concepts, like the way people want to stay in the status quo. You go traumatized, you still want to stay there, or you don't even know you are stuck, and how you can change the status quo and move forward. And of course, I input a lot of concepts that are African and the way we are a talking community in Africa. But sometimes I don't think we talk to alleviate suffering that we have had because of trauma, and especially childhood trauma, teenage trauma, or even what you call community trauma, or what, like in my country, we have suffered post-colonial trauma. And there are people up to now who fought the Mau Mau War. We have people that have had civil strife, tribal clashes, and probably they have never come out. And so in this book, if you go on Amazon, you will find that I have really shared about what we need to do to help people recover from trauma. However, for postgraduate students that are in psychology, or you are in counseling psychology, whether it's clinical, pure psychology, we can always do intervention studies. And I am on a very serious business that we don't keep saying the problems we have. We can start developing solutions, because this model that I call Dr. Gitau Trauma Recovery Model, it is an 8-stage model. It has a pre-assessment, and then it has a post-assessment after intervention. And you can try and probably just flex it. You can also adapt and modify it. You are free to do it, so long as you respect that there is somebody who thought about it, just like I respected Virginia Satire for her model, because she talks about human validation process model. That whatever we go through, our emotional well-being, when we go through very trying moments, we get affected emotionally. Can it be validated? Is it okay to not be okay? Yes. That if I got angry, I got too afraid, or I developed a panic attack after going through a traumatic incident, I need to validate that. I need to accept it. Somebody helping me needs to appreciate people go through that. And she also talked about how people can get stuck. And it's true, I think in my African context, I have actually seen that we get stuck where we were put by circumstances in our lives, traumatic experiences in our lives, and it's like we adopt this helplessness and hopelessness state of mind and state of being. And for me, I say, no, you don't have to get stuck there. And so with my Gitau trauma recovery model, we first assess, have you been traumatized? Can you qualify on the maybe moderate to severe post-traumatic stress disorder signs and symptoms? Then we put you in an intervention that really addresses trauma, allows you to narrate what happened when you have been stabilized and relaxed in a very stable manner, that you can share your story, and there's therapy that is ongoing. We have safety for you during therapy and even after therapy, because there is follow-up. So it is important that we know, and Kenyans right now, as we remember, we are having, this is our election year, 2022, August, we shall be going to the ballot box. Kindly don't forget what happened. I love all the leaders that are preaching peace. I don't have to do this. This happened because I interacted with internally displaced persons in my county. And as the more I interacted with them, the more I discovered they were stuck. And the more I discovered it is the state of mind. And if they can be helped to process the trauma they went through, then they can pick their lives again. And I think in my next production, I'm going to give a few case studies of some of the people who could be willing, with their consent, to talk about this journey we walked together with them. And for you postgraduate students, don't keep stuck there. If you're in love with addiction, you're in love in marriage and family therapy, you are in love maybe with the way cultural diversity and how counseling impacts our lives in the African context, can you have an intervention study? If you go to the West, they change the way they do studies. It is competence-based. And for us, we are still stuck in the traditional practices of doing research. And at the end of the day, we end up not solving our own problems as Africans. And if early childhood, elementary or basic education, that is primary and secondary schools, have gone to CBC, competence-based education and training, what about we in the post-secondary training? That is tertiary colleges, vocational training skills, and universities. What are we doing? Why are we having so many students? Why are we having a very large backlog of postgraduate students who are stuck in their research and their research projects? What is going on? Because out there, it's no longer the same. Do you think we are also stuck as academia? Do you think we were traumatized and we got stuck in our own trauma, and now we need to be unstuck so that we can help our students? I wish you all the best. And if you can just grab a copy online on Amazon, this is the way that book looks like. If you just get Susan Gitau, Trauma Recovery for IDPs in Kenya after post-election violence, this is how the book looks like. And I'm looking for people we can partner and publish more copies, especially for our university students, postgraduate students who want to carry out evidence-based intervention studies, because it's a high time we did them. Thank you so much. Kindly don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Susan Gitau. Like, share, and comment to improve it. Thank you. I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Susan Gitau, where you will access mental health tips every week, every month, every year. Thank you.